Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Coming up on November 11th, we'll observe Veterans Day. The holiday started as a day to reflect upon the heroism of those who died in our country's service and was originally called Armistice Day. It fell on November 11th because that is the anniversary of the signing of the armistice that ended World War I. However, in 1954, the holiday changed to Veterans Day in order to account for all veterans in all wars. My next guest is Mr. Labelle. He serves as chair of the Disabled American Veterans National Interim Legislation Committee, and he's also the DAV Wisconsin Media Coordinator. How are you, Al?
I'm doing great.
The DAV, of course, empowers veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity. So I am happy to have you here to have everyone at home better understand all of what you do for veterans through the DAV Wisconsin.
Well, each year DAV helps more than 1 million veterans in life-changing ways with transportation benefits, advocacy, employment, and volunteerism. Our focus is on service. Over 80% of our total expenditures go to support our service programs. Our services are open to all veterans free of charge.
Mm-hmm. And that's all great news, of course, because when you think about all of the different ways that veterans have served our country and sacrificed at the same time, it's awesome to know there's an organization there willing to help them through all of the aspects of their daily lives. So let's talk a little bit about the benefit assistance, because many times veterans may run into some issues and not realize that something that they need is actually covered. So fill us in on that.
Well, we provide free professional assistance to veterans and their families in obtaining VA and other government benefits, which they earn through their service. Each year, DAV on a national level helps more than 300,000 veterans and their families obtain needed benefits through our 100 national service offices located throughout the United States in Puerto Rico. In Wisconsin, our DAV National Service Office is located at the VA Regional Office in Milwaukee on 5400 West National Avenue. Last year, we helped approximately 16,000 Wisconsin veterans with their benefit claims. To contact our National Service Officers at the office, you may call 414-902-5736. We ask that you call between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Those are their working hours. You may also contact them by email, and that is dav.vbamiw@va.gov. That you can do anytime. In addition, DAV also has what are called transition service offices located at over 100 military installations, which help transitioning active duty personnel file their first VA benefit claims.
Very important stuff there. And as I mentioned, you spend a lot of time actually advocating for veterans and important issues that they face each and every day. So if you could kind of give us an idea of some of those issues that you've been paying particular attention to.
Well, as you mentioned, it's been my honor to advocate on behalf of injured veterans on Capitol Hill in Washington and at the Capitol in Madison. A couple of DAV's critical policy goals for 2021 at the federal level include toxic exposure, women and minority veterans. Toxic exposure includes Agent Orange for Vietnam veterans and burn pit emissions for Gulf War and post 9/11 veterans. Currently, two omnibus toxic exposure bills have been introduced in Congress. One, the Honor Our Pact Act in the House, and the other is the Cost of War Act in the Senate. Women and minority veterans are a growing demographic in the veterans community. By 2048, they will be the majority. Historically, medical studies were done mainly using white males, which did not always translate to women and minority veterans. Also, VA has taken steps to change their culture to accommodate the growing women and minority veterans populations. On a state level, our two legislative priorities are expanding eligibility for the Wisconsin Veterans and Surviving Spouses Property Tax Credit. That's one. Another is a bill which appropriates funding for the UWMIA Recovery and Identification Program, which repatriates the remains of Wisconsin MIA military personnel. On all these bills, we're working with key legislators to bring them to the floor for a vote. I will add with advocacy, it is not a spectator sport, but a team effort. So DAV our voices need to be amplified. We need veterans, their families, their friends, and the public to join the DAV's Commander Action Network, or DAV CAN. To sign up for this program or network, you can go to dav.quorum.us. That is, again, dav.quorum.us. We greatly appreciate you getting involved with veterans issues.
And we thank you for sharing that very important information. Now, the Sinclair Broadcast Group, which owns CW18 and My24, we're happy to shine a light on the outstanding work that DAV Wisconsin does for veterans on a daily basis. And through Sinclair Cares, we support your mission and hope that our viewers at home will actually join us in supporting DAV through donations and volunteering. So this is a great time to talk about some of the ways that those people who are watching at home can help. So let's start with volunteering. What are some of the things that they can do?
Well, first, I haven't really talked about it, but we have a transportation network. Well, at the moment, in the past, they have what is called VAVS program at the VA medical centers, but because of the pandemic, that program's been very curtailed. You know, you could go in and visit inpatients and stuff like that. It's a DAV volunteer. However, because as I mentioned, the pandemic, that program's been kind of what would you say, kind of been halted. So the main way you can volunteer right now is to become a DAV transportation van driver. And so basically the transportation program that VA has is we give free rides to all veterans to and from their scheduled VA medical appointments. And in Milwaukee, we have 15 DAV vans located at the Milwaukee VA Medical Center. These vans service Washington, Waukesha, Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee counties. Up to now in 2021, we have transported 3,882 Milwaukee area veterans to their VA's appointments. For rides, we like to have 2-week notice. All the drivers, again, are volunteers. To become a volunteer, you do not have to be a veteran, just a patriotic American. You need to have a driver's license, able to be insured and pass a physical. So to schedule a DAV ride or to become a DAV volunteer van driver, call 414-384-2000, extension 45715. That's a lot of numbers, so I'll say it again. 414-384-2000, extension 45715. The other method to become a volunteer is by email, and that is patty.davis3@va.gov.
All right, we appreciate that information as well. And people actually, when you talk about donating, of course, monetary donations are always appreciated, but you have a program where people can donate cars and boats?
Yes, that's a national program, and the information can be found on the dav.org on the national website. But yes, and I actually did it one time where somebody came up to me and I actually told him exactly what I told you, and he went to the website and he did it. And he called me later and thanked me so much for pointing out the process to him.
Yeah, and as we wrap up, Al, if you could kind of give us an idea of where some of those monetary donations that you may receive, where do they go to help?
Well, in this state, they would go mainly, we have what I call a general fund, a hospital fund, and a transportation fund. Mm-hmm. So a large share of the money would go to our transportation program. You know, the one that takes veterans to and from these vans they cost, under normal conditions, we have to buy 8 to 12 vans per year, and they cost roughly $35,000. So that's a large chunk of money we have to raise. So many of our donations go to support that particular program. And if they want to donate to the DAV transportation program, there's a couple ways to do it. You can go to our website, which is the Department of Wisconsin's website, dav-wi.org. And you would go to the Rights and Volunteering toolbar, and there'll be a drop down that says donate. You can click on that and it'll walk you through the process. Or you can call our state headquarters in De Pere at 920-338-8620. And our office manager will gladly walk you through the process.
Well, thank you so much, Al. And I just want to remind everyone the DAV documentary, The Battle Never Ends, that's going to be airing on CW18 this Sunday. We thank you so much for your time and for all that you do to help make a difference in the lives of veterans everywhere. Al Labelle, he serves as chair of the Disabled American Veterans National Interim Legislation Committee, and he's also the DAV Wisconsin Media Coordinator. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit their website at dav-wi.org, or you can go to sinclaircares.com. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at Our Issues Milwaukee. Have a great day.